Hello, let's talk all things double cleansing. So first up, why do we need to do a double cleanse? So when we're talking about double cleansing, for me, this particular step is predominantly performed at night. I find that in the morning, I'm happy as long as I've done my cleansing at night time and I've done my skin prep before bed. My morning cleanse usually consists of a single cleanse, but dependent on the night before. Now, when I get home from work, I've got my makeup on, I've been wearing my sunscreen, I've been reapplying my sunscreen, and depending on what sort of makeup I've got on, specifically long wear makeup, we need to make sure that we do that double cleanse. Now, not only is makeup and sunscreen something that we need to consider, because I often have clients asking me, well, if I don't wear makeup and I don't wear sunscreen, do I still need to double cleanse? Well, specifically with this cleanser I'm going to be working with today, which is the Dermaless Lactic Ultra Hydrating Lactic Cleanser. This particular cleanser is a treatment cleanser. So what happens is with our first cleanse, we're actually removing all of the day. Now, what do I mean by that? What's involved in the day? Well, we've got glands in our skin called sebaceous glands that secrete sebum, okay? It's a lipid, consists of oily, fatty cholesterol type secretions that come onto the surface of the skin. Now, we need sebum to help our skin laxity. It creates more suppleness. It gives our skin more room for movement. It also aids in, well, it has a slight antibacterial function. So we need sebum to be produced onto the surface of our skin throughout the day. But we also have that combined with dead skin cell buildup. So our cells on our skin, and specifically I'm talking about the epidermis, which is our outermost layer, goes through a process of cell renewal. And those cells that start off at the bottom regenerate, reduplicate, and they create more cells. And it's constantly going through this cycle. And so all those old cells are being pushed up to the top, building up on the surface of our skin. Now, everybody's skin's different. Some skin cells naturally just go through that desquamation where they fall off on their own. Some skins need a little bit of help. And so if you're one of those skins that does have some lumps and bumps, some congestion, some buildup within the pores or on the surface of your skin, you'll find that by doing your double cleanse of an evening is really going to help. Not only that, but throughout the day, if you step outside or even in your own house, you are exposed to tiny little particles. Little particles, dust particles, free radical damage, from UV rays, pollution, hairspray, herbicides, pesticides, paint, whatever you're exposed to. A lot of those little particles can rest and sit on our skin, and it can cause what we call free radical damage, which can lead to an inflamed skin. It can lead to barrier dysfunction. It can lead to then inflammation, pigmentation, premature aging, all of these things. So if you're not washing off sunscreen and makeup from your day, it is still, in my mind, important to do a double cleanse of a night time to remove first the day, which is what we just encompassed, and then also to treat your skin. Now, what do I mean by treat? It's a cleanser. It goes down the drain, yeah? Well, different cleansers have different ingredients, and let me tell you about this Dermaless Silk Cleanser. It has ingredients in here which actually treat your skin. So vitamin C, stay C50 in a potent form at a therapeutic dose, delivered in a way to the skin where you get an abundance of antioxidants fed into your skin which fight the free radical damage. So that is number one. Number two, it has polyglucoside emulsifiers, so properties that actually biomimic your cell's natural lipid layer. So even though we're going through a process of removal with the lactic acid, we're actually getting the benefits of feeding, nourishing, and restoring our skin's natural barrier. Now, on lactic acid, I'm a huge fan. There's also a little bit of mandelic acid in here. Don't be scared by the word acids. Acids is, Mandelic acid and lactic acid are what we call AHAs, alpha hydroxy acids. They're water soluble and they go into the skin and they help with desquamation, they help with cell removal. But they're a large molecule, so they're not actually penetrating really deep into the skin. They're not irritating, they're not causing inflammation. They're working superficially. And not only that, they're also water-loving molecules. So if you've heard of the word hygroscopic or humectants, it means that they draw water from the outside air and hold it like a magnet of water into the skin. So we love anything that draws more water into the skin because of course hydration, hello, at night time if we do our double cleanse we need to hydrate and encourage more water into the skin because it needs that to reproduce those skin cells, to go through its regeneration process which happens while you sleep. So anything that we can do to help and feed the skin. Along with that, if you have got red skin or sensitive skin, don't worry because there's application methods that you can do to reduce inflammation. So even if we do a double cleanse, there's things like the skin buff that you can use, which actually help to reduce any sort of irritation on the skin. There's time. So if you leave it on the skin for shorter amounts of time, there's the amount of physical movement that you do. Let's say if you use hot water and lots of physical movement, you're getting vasodilation or expansion, opening up your skin, creating more heat, which increases the absorption. So if you're using, let's say you've got a sensitive skin or a barrier, slightly impaired skin, don't be scared. It's absolutely fine. You can bring your water temperature down, use less friction or less aggressive movements, and you'll still get all the benefits of all of those wonderful ingredients. Along with that, there's chamomile, there's green tea, there's cucumber extract. So there's a lot of anti-inflammatory actives in there as well. So calming, repairing and regenerating the skin all at once. Now, let's talk about our actual double cleanse procedure. So let's have a look. Here is our consistency. Okay, and it is a silk cleanser. It actually legitimately feels like silk on the skin. It's delicious. It's very luxurious. This is my favorite cleanser. I used to have a barrier compromised skin. I used to have a lot of redness. And thanks to products like this one, I can double cleanse with confidence at nighttime. So I've got my cleanse here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of water onto my skin first. My hands are clean. I wash my hands always before I cleanse. This is one of the most important steps actually because throughout a day we've come into contact with lots of different things with our hands and our hands carry a lot of bacteria. So please make sure before you do any cleansing on your face you always wash your hands. All right, let me pop some water on. Beautiful. Now I've got some makeup, some mascara, some eye pencils, some blush. Just going to let my water sit there while I prep. Oh, please make sure your hair is always tied back when you cleanse. If you don't have your hair back out of your face, you will definitely impede your natural processes. You won't be able to really get in there and get everything done that you need to. You'll naturally be going, oh yeah, I don't want to get my hair wet. So just pull everything back, get comfortable. Okay, I'm gently massaging my cleanser. Now this first cleanse, you can see here, it is not a foaming cleanse, but this is 100% going to lift off my day's foundation and makeup from the whole day, my long wear makeup that I've been wearing. And you can see here I'm being super gentle. And it's emulsifying, it's starting to break down just with those movements. Now, if you're naturally, like I said before, more sensitive or barrier compromised and you're worried about redness, use your fourth finger to massage on your skin because you will involuntarily actually do a gentler cleanse. If you've got a lot of heavy makeup, and get in there and you can use these fingers here, because you tend to find naturally we're more aggressive with those fingers. Now, normally at this point, I would go ahead with my skin buff over the surface of the skin, but for the purposes of this, I've actually just got some Fibrella that I've just wet because I want to show you that it is removing my makeup. So this is my just wet Fibrella. And if you have a look here, you can see how much it has broken down. Let's go in. I never go back over with this side again. I'm constantly rotating my Fibrella. Beautiful. So that's that one makeup off onto this side. Good. Coming off beautifully. So much makeup from the day. Lasted well. Perfect, and more still coming off. So you can continue to wipe the skin until you actually get it pretty clean. And it's starting to come off a little less now. Over the eyebrows there, great. So my first cleanse, beautiful, is my makeup sunscreen removal cleanse. Now, everybody's skin responds differently and everybody's pH will slightly be shifted or adjusted, even just with the application of water, because water is neutral, whereas our skin is naturally more acidic. So even just by putting water on your skin, you can feel a change. But when we put a cleanser on the skin, we can also start to feel that change or that shift in our skin's natural pH, which is completely normal and expected. So when we feel to the point where there's a little bit of sensitivity, that's just a change or a shift temporarily in our pH, because our skin is designed to reproduce cells, to reproduce oils, to reproduce your lipids, to reproduce your natural barrier. So please don't be fearful. Oh, my skin tingles. It's okay. A slight tingle is normal. Now, when I do my first cleanse, I don't get anything. I feel no tingle. I feel no sensitivity, because essentially I haven't treated my skin. I've just done the removal process by emulsifying and breaking down. So now I'm going to go in with my second cleanse. Wetting my skin with tepid water. Not too hot, not too cold. Too cold is going to tighten. Too hot is going to expand. I want something just in between. Okay, my skin is damp. Now going in with my pump, tapping it over the surface of my fingers. Never just lob it into one spot, always gently moving it over the surface of our skin. Now, if by this stage you're going, oh, I'm starting to feel a bit of a tingle because naturally your skin is more dry or more sensitive, just let it sit there like a mask and work its magic, okay? It's a treatment cleanser. So even if you're not rubbing in, you've removed all of the day's impurities and you're actually getting the benefits of the vitamin C, of the niacinamide, of the tocopherol, and all those wonderful actives that are helping to hydrate your skin, plump your skin, reduce pigmentation, reduce premature aging. Antioxidants. Now, if you're okay, my skin's feeling fine, great, we can continue to get in there and work in our skin. Now what I'm doing, I've removed my sunscreen, I've removed my makeup, and I'm actually really removing the oils, the dead skin cells. I'm penetrating a little bit deeper into my skin. Remember, we've got lactic acid in here, which is going to detach and release a lot of that compacted buildup within the skin that's been there over the surface over the course of the day. Oh, that's feeling great. And as you can see, it's non-foaming, it's non-stripping. It is not a cleanser that is going to leave you feeling dry and tight. If anything, it's actually going to leave your skin feeling fed and nourished. All right, I've got my skin buff here, which is your bamboo charcoal. We love this one. As you can see from the consistency of it, it's really soft. It feels gentle just to touch. Never grab a face washer that's dry or brittle or might aid or add to the irritability of your skin. Always use something that's soft and gentle. The Dermalist Skin Buff, being charcoal, we know that charcoal works to draw out toxins and impurities from the skin, aiding in lymphatic drainage. It feels beautiful. And this is great. I actually love using this in my removal step because I don't like splashing water everywhere. So this is actually sort of like a soft sponge, and you can see the open pores there that absorb the water. And as I'm pressing onto the skin, water droplets are being released, which is helping with the aid of removal of my cleanse. So good. And I'm just going to do one more, and you can slightly see there's not too much. I'm not sure if you can see that. There was a slight bit of debris coming off from that cleanse. Again, with my tepid water, not too hot, not too cold, for my nighttime cleanse. And one more pass. For this side of my face, I use this side. And when I come over to here, I flip it and use this side. These are great in the shower as well. And because they've got the little cord there, you can just let them hang to air dry. Make sure you always give it a wash after use with some soapy water, and then just leaving it to air dry. Beautiful. Now my skin's a little bit damp, which I actually don't mind leaving a little bit of water on the skin, which is great for my next step in my routine because it just aids in penetration. Remembering that anything that is water loving needs water to draw from. So if you leave a little bit of water on the skin, that's great. A gentle pat, not too much water being removed, just enough to feel fresh. And that's it for me. I'm done with my nighttime double cleanse.